Bitcoin to 350K. And what is going on with SBF? How long is he going to do time? Find out, question everything, trust nothing. Welcome to Debate Crypto. It's your boy, CryptoKeeper. Hopefully everybody is doing well. It's Friday. Crusader is still sick. Shout out to him. Hopefully he is feeling better. Everybody in the chat, hopefully you're doing well today. Hopefully you don't have that sickness that he's passing around. Well, actually, hopefully he's not passing around. Hopefully he's just laying low in the house. So shout out to you, Crusader. Hopefully you're feeling better. Who was first in the chat today? I think first in the chat, actually, I snuck over to YouTube. Many of you don't know this, but we have a streaming service that we use. So I see a little bit different than you guys see in terms of the chat. And I think it was actually FU today. Sorry, Green Day Profits. I know you sneak in there a lot, but I think it was FU today. So FU, a big old FU to you. No, just kidding. We love you, bro. Thank you for being here. We do have Green Day Profits in the house and Patriot Caveman. So a bunch of the regulars. So hopefully everybody's doing well today. We got a lot on the schedule. Actually, no, that's not true. We don't have a ton on the schedule today. We were planning on doing another 1v1 today, so I apologize in advance to everyone that there's not a 1v1. We had some scheduling conflicts kind of come up last second. Hey, that's just part of the game, so you're stuck with me. And I'm not going to trade against myself because that would be one loser versus another as it relates to trading. Doesn't really equate well for YouTube. Don't think that it's going to perform very well in terms of the analytics. So you're going to get a little bit of news today. We'll have a little bit of fun. I want to remind everybody to sign up for Trading Wars, not Training Wars, for Trading Wars if they haven't already. And pay close attention. Crusader and I have something big that is coming as an announcement for you guys that's going to be changing soon. We are definitely gearing towards and pushing towards a lot of what's happening in the trading space as we gear up for the bull run upcoming. So you're going to be seeing some pretty cool changes from us. We've got some big partnerships that we're announcing, some of which you've already seen. Some could be on the horizon that are new. A lot going on. We've got some big plans for some travel. I did mention, I want to throw out there, I know a lot of you know this, but I am fighting in karate combat. I am not allowed to announce my opponent yet, as I believe he has not announced me. So we're going to keep that like that. I think they're kind of stagger starting, some of the information there. So I will let you know as soon as I can what's going on with that. And you guys will be seeing a lot of live updates as to what's happening. Maybe a little bit of training stuff. Maybe not, though. I don't know. We'll keep you posted. I'm super excited. I've got I say I'm super excited. I'm gonna go get my my butt kicked this evening by my coach. So that's here in just a couple hours. So wish me luck. The man tries to make me puke every time. And I think he wants to give me a black eye every time, but he has yet to do it. So we'll keep it at that. But yeah, no, super excited about that. For those of you that are wondering when the fight's going to be, we'll keep you posted. That's going to be in February or March. Don't have the exact date yet, but I do want to put out there. I need to put the link out. I actually should have done it, daggone it, for this stream. That's okay. I'll put it out. I'm going to put out a little video soon, just kind of talking a little bit about my background, just a little bit about me, why I'm taking this fight. You guys are like, you're probably crazy, Keeper. You're freaking into crypto. Why are you fighting? But I've got a good answer for all of that, and it's going to be fun. But there is a party out in Vegas. Shout out to Cryptos R Us. George has been putting together the whole thing with Karate Combat. And we've got a big party. If you guys want to do a meet and greet and come out, meet myself, a bunch of the other fighters, there's going to be a bunch of other influencers there. I'm going to be giving you guys a little ticket offer on that. Unfortunately, when you buy the ticket, obviously you've got to get yourself there. It's out in Vegas. And I believe that's going to be on December 14th. I'll keep you posted on that as well. And then I believe I'm probably going to be in Miami. If you're in the Miami area, sometime around the 7th. So I got a lot of traveling coming up in December. I know my wife's super happy about me being gone for, half of December, but hey, trying to grow the business as we grow other businesses. That's part of the game. So you guys have been a big support. So I just want to shout out to everybody in the chat. I love you guys for real. I couldn't do this. We couldn't do this without you. And we're on the brink. We're on the brink. We're pushing towards being full-time in this, as a lot of other content creators have been able to do it. They, probably started a little bit earlier than Crusader and I did, but we're super excited because we're getting there. It's happening. And if we can get enough revenue coming in, I'm getting Crusader to move up to cold ass Ohio. And we're going to build a studio up here. That's kind of the game plan. And I believe that that's going to be able to happen before too long, probably in the next year or so. You guys are going to be seeing us in studio, and there will be a lot of cool changes happening when that comes about. But I got to, we got some work to do before we get there. All right, cool. That's enough of me chatting. Wick, good to see you in the chat, brother. Super happy that you are here as well. And if you guys haven't already smashed the like, hit the bell notification, done the things that we're always asking you to do. It takes 2 seconds if you're in the live chat on mobile. Just X out, hit the like, come back in, and you can hang out with everybody in there. Let me jump in here real quick. Let's see here. I got some people making some predictions on the fight. I'll tell you guys as soon as possible. I will definitely do that. And I will tell you, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And the Marine in me will come out and hopefully be victorious. That's the game plan. So we'll see how it goes. All right. It's been a while though. I'm almost 40. I hate saying that. I remember thinking, how old that was back in the day. And, I've been out of high school now. I'm 39. I've been out of high school now 21 years. And I see my nephew, he's a junior in high school, and I hear him talk with him and his buddies. It was Halloween the other night. And listen, he's not watching the stream, so I'll just call it like it is. Love my nephew. Him and his buddies are freaking annoying. And I was like, damn, I hope that was not me, but I have a sneaky suspicion that it probably was. But yeah, I still feel like a big kid, but I'm almost 40. So I've been out of the Marine Corps now 12 years, 11 years, 11 years, 11 years, 10 years, 10, 11 years. Yeah, something like that. I got to think about it. I think it's been 11 years. And so I haven't been doing, training in this regard. So just getting back into it, getting loosened up, and I'm ready to have some fun and get wild. So, all right, cool. Also, last thing on the fight, we'll teach you guys how to do this, but Karate Combat has a really cool betting structure, a betting feature where you can buy the tokens and it's a no loss bet. So effectively, I know many people are gonna be like, well, how can you not lose a bet? I'm gonna explain it to you. And then I'll give you guys the information on how to get the tokens and all that good stuff as we continue to progress forward. But they have the tokens, their karate tokens, and you can place a bet. So hopefully you're betting on Team Keeper, right? So you bet on Keeper. Let's say, heaven forbid, I were to lose. You do not actually lose your money. And you're thinking, well, how does that work? My understanding is in the background, they are creating more tokens to pay out the winners of the bets. And so, yeah, obviously it inflates the price of the token. So, you're going to lose some on that. But place your bets because your boy is going to be ready. I will tell you that. All right, let's get into it. Let's see what's going on in the crypto world. Let's check out the markets first. As always, the global crypto market cap is at 1.26 trillion with a T dollars. That's up 0.65%. We got Bitcoin at 34,585. It's kind of broken down a little bit. It got all the way up to like 35.8 the other day, but it's down 0.82%. ETH sitting pretty flat, 1817. USDT, $1, doing what it's supposed to do. BNB at 229, down a little bit over 1%. XRP sitting at 61 cents. It's made a big move, 12.4% on the week. So that's good to see. Let's see here. Solana. Now, Solana has been absolutely smashing it, up at $39. Remember when we were talking about it at 19, maybe a week and a half ago? Yeah, that happened quick. Cardano is at 32 cents. That's up almost 12% on the week. Guys, things have pumped. And then Dogecoin and Tron rounding out the top 10. Dogecoin's one that I'm actually interested in. I got to tell you, it keeps staying between that 5.5 to 6.5-ish cent mark. And it's something that I'm paying attention to because I still think Elon's going to get in there. And I want to throw one more at you. You guys have heard me talk about it before. Let me see how far down the list it is now. Oh, is it down past? Oh, it is 36. VeChain at 1.9 cents. I'm telling you guys, clip this. Remember it. I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I'm about to load up on some VeChain. Just letting people know where I'm at. They've got some huge partnerships, supply chain management tracking. You guys have heard me talk about this next bull run, how I think that this next bull run is going to be utilitarian. VeChain is one of those as it relates to utility, to where all big businesses that are trying to basically streamline can get onto the blockchain and use something like VeChain that just streamlines their business. So how could you bet against that? I don't think that it would be, a good thing to do. All-time high, which you can never just look at on its face. You got to look at a lot more than that. But solid project. All-time high is like 26 cents. So we're about a 13x ish from there right now. So that's a beautiful thing. Turn $4,000 into 50K. Let's get it. We like that. So you don't have to get too crazy with some of these, and the returns can be exponential. Wick said, my 125-pound ass don't want to fight no keeper. Yeah, Wick, that might be a little bit. It might be a little bit of an offset there. That might be a little tough to overcome. I don't know how tall you are. I think more than weight, though, height makes a huge difference. I've told this before. I won't get into the story, but I've told before the worst butt kicking I ever took. Because if any guy tells you that I've never lost a fight, like, well, then you've been in maybe one or two fights, one being like your little sister, right? And the other one you got lucky, got a puncher's chance or whatever. If you've been a bunch of fights, you've been beat up before. And the biggest beating I ever took was by a dude that was a decent little bit smaller than me. Still a hefty, stocky dude, but he was probably 5'8", 175 or something. And I'm 5'11". I was probably 205 or something like that, 200 pounds, something like that. Size doesn't always matter at any event. Yeah. So, but I do spar with a guy that's definitely better than me as it relates to quickness with his, he's really freaking quick. He's been training for a long time. He's a lot shorter than me, though, and I train with him sometimes, and he's like 5'6" maybe, and I tear him up because he just can't get. I can hold him off so well just because of that. And I will tell you, my opponent is actually a little bit taller than me. He's bigger than I am, so it'll be good. It'll be fun. All right, so Crusader's getting in, saying keeper story time. Basically, that's his nice way after I told everybody 10 times how much I hope he feels better and that we are wishing him prayers and blessings and all of these things. He wants to come into the chat and start, talking trash about me telling a story when, that's fine. I take it all back. I hope you start feeling worse. No, I'm just joking, man. All right, so let's get into it. Let's talk some crypto. Crypto Billy said, "Just be careful, bro." Yeah, for sure, man. It's a real fight. I mean, these gloves they're nothing. You know what I mean? They're either 4 or 6 ounces. They're just the little ones. So you know what I'm saying? It's definitely everybody's got a puncher's chance, and in this case, a kicker's chance because there's lots of kicks and whatnot available as well. So anyway, I'll keep you guys updated on that. Let's dive into crypto. Done with, according to Crusader, keeper story time. And let's talk about Michael Saylor. You've heard us talk about Michael Saylor a lot in the past. A lot of people think he's an idiot. I've heard a lot of people say that they just think he's just stupid, but I don't. I think that he's incredibly intelligent. I think that maybe some of his timelines, maybe some of his predictions get a little bit wild, but the information that he shares is absolutely on point. It just is. Like the actual Bitcoin information, the thesis that is Bitcoin versus the price action is on point, as Michael Saylor calls it. So check this out. Michael Saylor, unprecedented demand is set to 10x Bitcoin. That'd be like a 350K Bitcoin. Says MicroStrategy co-founder Michael Saylor believes next year will be the biggest ever, not just for Bitcoin, but for any financial offering. There's Michael Saylor himself. And if you haven't seen it, Crusader and I met him down in Miami and did a nice little interview with him where he told us, why would you ever sell your Bitcoin? And then I think he turned around and sold some Bitcoin, but probably had to do it to cover some funding that he needed for one of his companies. MicroStrategy co-founder and executive chairman Michael Saylor doubled down on his enthusiasm for Bitcoin on Thursday, telling CNBC that he believes the cryptocurrency is soon going to experience a price boost previously unheard of in modern financial history, and we're rooting for it. His confidence in the coin stems from the confluence of a number of Bitcoin-related events that are anticipated to occur the next year. For one, Bitcoin is set for the halving, right? Next, that's in April, right? That's going to reduce Bitcoin's mining rewards by 50%, substantially reducing the amount of Bitcoin likely to be flooded by miners onto the market. A lot of you might not know how this works, but we've got our Bitcoin mining stuff going on down in Paraguay. And as we were going through the whole process and getting things set up, a lot of the selling pressure on the market is the miners. Now, you might ask yourself why. If they're mining Bitcoin for a hefty profit, why are they maybe not taking loans against it, this, that, and the third? The answer is energy. The energy has to be paid for. And they're large numbers really quick. On one megawatt, which, you're investing around $1 million on 1 megawatt, if you get a good deal on it anyway, in the right places, on 1 megawatt, you're going to have about a $40,000 a month power bill. So you've got to obviously pay that. And 1 megawatt is a couple to a few hundred machines. Now we're talking about some massive companies that have tens of thousands of machines, and they have millions of dollars a month in power bills that they have to pay. Obviously, the Bitcoin serves for that. And then, everything left over is what they are bringing in. So a lot of the sell pressure on the market, and it's important that you understand this, is from the miners. So what happens when it gets cut in half, when the halving happens, right? Now there's 50% less sell pressure on the market. So check this out. You're going to see $12 billion of natural selling per year converted into $6 billion of natural selling at the same time as things like the spot Bitcoin ETFs increasing the demand for Bitcoin. So that's why all of us are fairly bullish over the next 12 months. Demand's going to increase, supply is going to contract, and this is fairly unprecedented in the history of Wall Street. He then goes on to further elaborate on his belief that the major financial institutions expand their investment in Bitcoin. Centralized institutions will stabilize, and this is important, that it will stabilize not only Bitcoin itself, but the crypto industry as a whole, further boosting Bitcoin's price. Last thing here. He says, when banks and responsible custodians are managing Bitcoin and the industry takes its eyes away from all the shiny little tokens that have distracted and demolished shareholder value, I think the industry moves to the next level and we 10x from here. Chat, tell me your thoughts. Do you think that we can 10x from here in this next bull run? I will tell you, I don't. I do not think that we're going to 10x. I'm not always trying to be the bear. I think for me, part of it is I've been in these markets long enough to see the massive price movement that we have, both in Bitcoin and obviously in altcoins, because the alts get absolutely nuts. But at the same time, I've also seen the massive, price dumps that we have. I've seen how much other markets influence what's happening with Bitcoin, risk on assets. That's really important to understand, because when we have worldwide economic instability, which we have right now, you can't ignore that either. Now, you add the Bitcoin halving to the ETFs to an election year, and all of a sudden you have got a recipe for, some grandiose prices. I agree. But I personally think that around 150K is as high as we go. I do believe this is going to sound bad. You're going to be like, Keeper, you're being bearish. I'm not. I'm seeing the exponential move of these markets happening, and I think we will get there. I just don't think that we're going to get there in this next run. I actually believe that 100K mark is going to be really hard to surpass. Now, if we do blast through it, I think we won't have much of a problem getting upwards of 120, 130, 140, 150K. but I do not see us in almost any scenario getting past 200K this next market. Now, would I be totally happy to be wrong? Yeah. I've got a bet with Believes. Shout out to Believes Crypto. I've got a bet with Believes for 1 Ethereum that Bitcoin doesn't hit 50K before the halving. Now, you guys are sitting there saying, well, we're Keeper, we're at 35K right now. That's probably a bad bet. You're probably going to lose an Ethereum. Well, if I do, I do. But I still believe that we might have some turmoil in these markets. A lot of the news that's broadcasted out there, a lot of the information that comes out there, if you pay attention, as it gets bullish, we get bearish results. And so I will not be surprised to see some price action headed in the opposite direction. All that just to say, Bitcoin is headed up and to the right. It does solve the real world problems that the reason that most of us are here. So all of that is true. That doesn't take away the price action doesn't take away from what this beautiful decentralized asset called Bitcoin does, or that its future is. The price is just what the price is at that point. That's what the demand on the market calls for. The market will set that price. And a lot of these institutions, as they come in, are also going to be setting that price and playing with some of these numbers and playing with some of your money and playing with you as exit liquidity. So don't forget, while we'll get huge moves up, we'll also get huge moves down. So have a game plan. We've talked about this a lot, but have a game plan. Crusader and I have got and are working on a real deal structured game plan to take some profits this time. Not because we want to pull our Bitcoin off the table, not because we don't know that we can take loans against our assets, but because the reality is, if I look at my portfolio right now versus what it was at the peak, I had a massive opportunity. Even if I still kept it in, if I would have taken profits, even just into stable coins, and sat and waited for a lot of this action to happen to the downside, which I knew was coming, right? But I didn't want to miss all of the bull run. I didn't want to miss the top. I didn't want to miss the peak. Well, guess what? I hit the peak, but I didn't sell it, right? That's a really hard thing to do. And so having a game plan I don't, not a full exit strategy, at least for me. You need to figure out what it is for you. Maybe it is for you. But having some sort of a strategy for the amount of money that you're trying to bring in, or the amount of Bitcoin that you're trying to stack long term, whatever your game plan is, work that out, write that down, have an accountability partner, and stick to it. Period. Let me jump in the chat real quick, see how everybody's doing. I haven't been paying too much attention on the chat. Let's see. Billy says, I don't. 350K? No, but I'd love to be wrong. Yes, I'm in the same boat with you. Let me see here. We've got Wick says you need to look for the next BTC for gains that more than maybe 1.5x. Yeah, I mean, again, 1.5x is going to put us just over 100K. So I don't disagree with that. Crypto Owl. BlackRock going to make crypto more stable, blah, 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 blah. Crypto Owl's just upset we're not actively trading right now because last I saw, or last I heard, Crypto Owl was crushing it over in Trading Wars. So just as a reminder, if you're not signed up for Trading Wars, make sure to do that. You can still jump in. Season 2 is getting ready to start. Guys, we've already got a lot of stuff locked in. Big names locked in for season 2, just like season 1, maybe even bigger. And we're super excited about that. A bunch of really good traders, a lot of high profile individuals that are going to be there for season 2 that are excited about it. A lot of 1v1 stuff happening. There's going to be money that's going to be thrown around. Again, it's P&L. You could drop in $100 today, make a couple profitable trades, have a really good P&L, and at the end of next week, which is the end of season 1, you could still win $1,000 or more. So I also want to touch this chat right here. Clay the Great says too much opium. It is something that I do believe that we see a lot. It does sell, right? Like it's really great to hear me come on here and say, listen, we're going to $1 million. It's happening. We're going to be there before 2025 because of all these things. That feels good, but I don't believe that. And I will never come on here for clicks or for views and tell you anything other than what I genuinely believe. There's a lot of people that might do that, but it's just not me and Crusader style. We really want to be able to be here to educate you, want to give you a reality check, and we could be wrong, right? Maybe Bitcoin does go to some wild ass number. I don't know. But what I do know is that I've been around long enough to have a good grasp on what these markets do. And hopefully I'm wrong. And hopefully it just absolutely just blasts off and we can all be, on a beach somewhere. I got to change my drink option on the beach. I've been talking about sipping a Mai Tai, and I looked it up because I actually had been saying that for a while now. I'm going to be sipping 2030. I'm going to be sipping a Mai Tai on a beach somewhere. Then I realized a Mai Tai's got coconut in it. Okay. I do not like coconut. So apparently I need to pick a different drink. So drop in the chat what drink you think Keeper should be having. I don't like the real fruity, nonsense. Makes me feel kind of crappy, but yeah, drop that in the chat, and we'll make that change just for the fact that there's coconut in it. Let's see here. The only reason Keeper isn't talking to us through a solid gold microphone. Listen, if I could have a solid gold microphone, that would be dope. As long as it put the nice crisp quality sound. You know what I mean? We gotta have that. We got to have that. Green Day Profit says 130 to 150K price target for the next bull run. Yeah, it's about a 2X, right? I could definitely see that. I'm just going to touch a couple more chats and then we'll jump into the next article. The student's name is I'm a Dork. This is a great name, by the way. So shout out to you. If Bitcoin's an ETF, what's stopping Litecoin from getting approved? I guess I'm not understanding the question. I mean, there's going to be a Bitcoin ETF that is launched. Bitcoin's not in and of itself an ETF. I guess I'm not understanding your question. So yeah, C's Crypto says we're taking Bitcoin profit at 120K. Let's see here. Billy Keeper believes bet. Make me the same bet, but I take your position. You take Bleav's position. That way, either way, you can't lose because I agree with your position. Hedge it, brother. But then, hold on a second, Billy. So listen, appreciate the sentiment, right? So hold on a second. Let me play this out. So I hedge my position, and then I get zero from the bet, right? I just didn't make the bet. But if you're right, you get paid and it actually comes from Bleav's. Let me think about that, Billy. Maybe I'll make you like half of the bet. And then, we can we can talk. It's a really interesting thought, Billy. I love you, brother. I'll definitely think that through. Crypto Billy also said, I'm going to wait until the last day to make a $10,000 150x leverage trade and win it all. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So yeah, if you guys aren't signed up, make sure to do that. Old fashioned. Yes, that's a great drink, Alex. An old fashioned. I like it. All right, cool. Let's you're a mojito man. Let me see here. Oh, come on, bro. Take a guess, Clay the Great. I'll give you a clue. I'm a badass. Okay, so no, I was a swamp marine, brother. I was not a Hollywood Marine. For those of you that don't know, they call a Hollywood Marine somebody that went to boot camp out in San Diego. Swamp Marines are us, Paris Islanders. We wear that badge of honor on our chest. Lots of sand fleas and other craziness that goes on in Paris Island. A lot of people, joke around about Hollywood Marines not being as hardcore as the Swamp Marines in Paris Island. So, all right, cool. Let's move on. I've been doing a lot of blabbing today, but only had a few articles and wanted to just kind of have some fun on a Friday, do something a little bit different. All right, so check this out. Another price prediction on this one. Want to know what you guys think. If I had it pulled up, that'd be great. AI predicts Ethereum price to break 6K 2 months after the next halving. So it's basically saying like maybe June, May or June, depending on when that block gets hit for the halving to take place. Ethereum price is expected to reach a new all-time high Q2 of 2024 following the next Bitcoin halving. It occurs approximately every 4 years, obviously, historically ushered in a new bull market for blockchain-based digital assets. ETH rose 2,133% after the previous Bitcoin halving to reach an all-time high of 4,864. Sporia on TradingView expects a similar level of upside this time around. Let me just show you this. I'm going to come back to this because this doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but we're going to talk about it here in a minute. ETH is currently $1,788 after dropping 2.67 cents in the last 24 hours. That follows a period of upside, which ETH climbed 23.22% over the course of a 3-week period at the end of October. This surge from ETH means that it now has reclaimed 50%, the 50% level on its July-October range in a single bullish move. So far, ETH has held up well at the range's midway point, and early forecasts are suggesting that the positive price action could continue over the coming months. The ETH price prediction algorithm has forecasted 253% move by Q2 2024. This would put ETH at 63.39, a new all-time high for the second largest cryptocurrency by market cap. The main catalyst for the projected move is the Bitcoin halving. Okay, let me back up here. First of all, let me pause. Okay, I'm going to pull this off the screen real quick. Who thinks that we can hit a $6,300 Ethereum by 2 months after the halving? That is effectively, I don't know, 350% from where we're at right now ish. I'd love to see it. A lot of you know my biggest holding is Ethereum by a decent little margin. So anything ETH wants to do, taking off up and to the right, I am about it. I'm about that life, right? I want to see ETH absolutely blast off. But the reality is, right, that ETH moves exponentially faster when it moves at a larger percentage move than Bitcoin does, at least in the past, right? Because mainly, and it's really simple, it's mainly the size of the market cap, right? So if I pull it up right now and take a peek, ETH's market cap is at $218 billion, whereas Bitcoin's at 673 billion. So it's more than 3x. It's more than 3 times the market cap as Ethereum is right now, right? And so when a move happens with Bitcoin, let's say a 20% move happens with Bitcoin, you could expect a 30, 40, 50% move even sometimes from Ethereum. So a big catalyst behind that is because it doesn't take quite as much money to move that market, and Bitcoin being, chief, Mac Daddy in the space, all the alts exponentially run past that. So first things first, do I think it can hit that? Absolutely. Do I think it'll go higher than that? Absolutely. Okay. Do I think it'll be Q2 of 2024? I don't care. You might be wondering why. Well, I don't have a bet against believes on it yet. So I mean, shoot, maybe that'll come up too. Why not? But the shorter term pinning a price point at a certain time matters to me not unless that price is the target at which I'm planning on taking profits, moving assets, making moves in the space. I don't have a reason to say, oh, it's important that Q2 2024 or at least at 6K, right? This is AI predicting this, obviously. Let me go back though. Here's where I'm not on board with this article, right here. ETH rose 2,133%, and they expect a similar level, right? Expect a similar upside this time around, right? That's 2,133% is 21.33x from where it's at now. Now, you want to talk about a crazy number. 21.33 times, I don't know where we're at, 1789 or something. Let me look. Okay, we're $1,815. It's like $39,000. If we got a similar move, to be clear, hear me here. $39,000 Ethereum is what that would be. Now, the reason that doesn't make sense to me, well, there's a lot of reasons that it doesn't make sense to me, but the first reason is actually really simple. If we 21x the market cap from where we're at now, we're at like a $4.2 trillion market cap for Ethereum. Okay. If we 10x where we're at on now, this is Michael Saylor's 10x, right? Which I don't believe we're ever going to hit, would be like 6.7 billion. That would kind of, hold up or possibly hold some water. But 150K, which effectively is 7x from, or I mean, not a 7x, which is basically like a 4 point something X from where we're at right now. What are we saying? We're saying that ETH is going to flip Bitcoin's market cap. I can't see that. That's definitely not something that I see in our near future. Yeah. So, just kind of giving you a heads up on what of what's going on. It just doesn't make sense to me. Do I want to see a $38,000 Ethereum? Heck yes. I want to see a $380,000 Ethereum. Let's get it as high as we can, baby. Then I'm really going to be sipping that old fashioned on the beach. But I just don't see. I could see ETH flipping Bitcoin's market cap maybe for a short period of time, but not under the circumstances in this next cycle do we see that happen and stay there, right? I just can't see it. So type a 1 in the chat if you think that ETH can flip Bitcoin. Drop a 2 if you think not going to happen. I'm really interested to see what you guys say. I would put up a poll right now, but I have that closed down on the other screen. I'm not going to take the time to put it back up. But drop a 1 in the chat if you think that we can, if Ethereum can actually flip Bitcoin's market cap. Drop a 2 if you think nah, not going to happen. So, yeah, drop it in. Let me know what you think. Swashbuckling Scallywag says 2. Yeah. Crunk C 2 says nope, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. We got a lot of 2s. Miner of all coins 2. Crypto Billy 2. John 2. Hey, listen, I'd like to see it. It would make me financially in a heck of a spot. Kevin, shout out to Kevin. Haven't seen you for a little while. Kevin, good to see you, bro. Says 2. Wick 2. Wick says XRP all the way though, baby. That's funny. FU says 2. Yeah, not this bull cycle. I just don't see it. All right, the moment you've all been waiting for. You guys have already heard what's going on. I just kind of want to give my take on it. SBF guilty on all charges. Now, I first want to say I like to use ChatGPT to help me out with some titles and stuff on YouTube now. It's been helpful. You can SEO optimize it. You can do all the little things, and it's helpful, right? It gets creative sometimes. It would not let me let me pull it. I'm gonna read it to you guys. Hold on. All right. So I write an SEO optimized YouTube title surrounding Sam Bankman Fried being found guilty on all charges. Here is what the liberal ass ChatGPT came up with. I'm sorry. I cannot provide assistance in creating misleading or false information, particularly involving individuals facing legal issues. If you have any other topic or query that I can help with, please feel free to ask. Hey, dumb. I said he was found guilty on the charges. That is a fact. That is the information. How is this misleading? It is the information, right? So it's funny to me that I could all but almost bet you that I could almost bet you that the that if I change the name on there to somebody else that maybe leans a little bit more in the other direction, I bet it would spit out a title. I'm telling you, it would spit out a title. I promise you it will spit out a title. So I don't know. That's ChatGPT for you. John, I want to shout you out, brother. Said John.2024 says, I am John Connor. New handle. John Connor, good to see you, bro. Glad that you are here, man. Glad that you're in the house. Hopefully, I think you're all, I think if I remember right, I think you're over in Ireland or something. So hopefully you're doing well across the pond. All right. So there's the beautiful hair piece the bird's nest there. Sam Bankman Fried says guilty. Sam Bankman Fried convicted of FTX fraud. A jury of 9 women and 3 men found FTX founder Sam Bankman Fried guilty of 7 fraud and conspiracy charges on Thursday, according to Courtroom Reporter, reaching a unanimous decision in the former crypto mogul's high-profile criminal case. Although the jury delivered its verdict today, it could be some time before the U.S. District Judge Lewis Kaplan determines his sentence. He faces 115 years in prison. Throughout Bankman Fried's trial in the Southern District of New York, he and his defense team sought to dissuade the jury of accusations that one-time CEO orchestrated a sweeping scheme to commit fraud and misappropriate $10 billion with a B dollars worth of customer funds. The prosecutor said that he stole billions of dollars of customer funds from FTX through his trading firm Alameda Research. At the same time, Bankman Fried stood accused of lying to Alameda's lenders and FTX's investors and customers. A jury was convinced. Their decision comes nearly a year after FTX's collapse. Obviously, we saw Bitcoin down at 15.75, 15.750, et cetera, et cetera. Now, there are some insiders that testified against him during the trial. Co-founder Gary Wang, Alameda CEO Caroline Ellison, you know who she is, that's his girlfriend, and the former head of engineering Nishad Singh, all say they committed crimes at Bankman Fried's behest. The FTX insiders pleaded guilty and are hoping their cooperation in the government's investigation will earn them leniency in their sentences they receive for the charges they're facing. Wang could be facing 50 years, Ellison 110, and Singh 75. All right, let me ask you guys, what kind of time you think they're going to get here? Like, I'm genuinely interested. What kind of time do we think that these individuals are going to receive? And I'm going to give you my opinion in just a second. I'm going to give you guys a second to drop the I'm going to drop this in the chat. So drop SBF and at least Caroline Ellison, and then we can talk about the other two, but at least drop those two. What do you think they're actually going to get? Right? Somebody suggested that they were going to give him probation. Listen, no. I've been telling you guys for a long time he was going to get the book thrown at him. And the only way he wasn't going to get the book thrown at him is if he had some major ammo of big, big names that he was willing to release that ultimately, were going to, throw some other people under the bus. All right, so let's see what we got in the chat here. SBF man boobs, 115 years is too little. Crunk C says, hold on a second. Crunk C, you think she's going to get less than 4 years? She faces 110. You think she'll get less than 4? I disagree with that. John, Mr. Connor, says 15 to 30. Okay. Let me see here. Nobody's going to live 115 years in prison, Kevin. That's called death by prison. So John says 25 years for SBF 40 years, Caroline 6 years, SBF 12, Sweet Caroline 5, SBF 10 to 15. Man, I think, listen, hold on a second. Billy, you think he's going to get pardoned? What? Not a chance. I don't think they're going to pardon. Who's going to pardon him? You think Joe Biden's going to pardon him for donating a bunch of money to the Democratic Party? I don't know. He donated money to the Republicans as well. I mean, he definitely did. Okay. You guys literally, man, you guys got some really low numbers here. Crunksy says less than 6 years for Sam or witness protection if he snitches on the Binance founder. You guys really have low numbers. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what I think. I think he's going to get probably somewhere in the range of 30 to 50. And I think that now what he'll actually serve will depend on, if he gets in trouble while he's in there, whatever. But I think they're gonna throw the book at him. I do think so. I don't think they're probably gonna, here's my kind of issue with this. They gave Bernie Madoff like 100 and something years or 80 years, some massive. Let me see what Bernie Madoff get. How much? Hold on a second. Let me look. How much time I think we talked about this before. Bernie Madoff get? He got 150 years and forfeiture of $17 billion in lifetime ban from the securities industry, right? And I mean, he ended up dying. He had served 12 years of his 150-year sentence, but he died at 82. They gave him 150 years, and I believe that he didn't swindle as many people or as much money as Sam Bankman Fried did. So I think he's going to get 30 plus. I think maybe, 30 to 75, something like that. I don't think they're going to give him the whole amount of time, or they'll give him a life sentence. But here's the deal with the life sentence. Be careful with this. They could use this. A life sentence is technically in most states 25 years. A lot of people don't know that when you get a life sentence. Now, when they give like 4 life sentences, you're like, well, why would they do that? What's he going to do? Live and die 4 times? No. In a lot of states, if you look it up, a life sentence is around 25 years. So when they give 4 life sentences, they're giving that person 100 years. I could see it, right? I could see them trying to play games because most people will never look into it and giving him life, which would be 25 years. I could see them doing that because it's like, oh my gosh, he got a life sentence. And people don't ever look past that, right? Now, there will be people that will come out, me being one of them, if they do that on TikTok and everywhere else, it's going to say, hey, listen, yeah, they gave him life, but life in that state is 25 years. So what's he actually going to serve of that 25 years? Or is the life, hey, you got to at least serve the 25 years? At any event, you guys are throwing around some low numbers. I think that he's going to be, convicted and actually be sentenced to 30 plus years. And I think Caroline is probably going to get half of that. I think they're going to give her 15 to 20 years. She cooperated for sure, which is huge, but she still admits to, at his behest, committing all of these massive, massive financial crimes. So I think 30 plus for SBF. I think 15 to 20-ish for Caroline Ellison. And the only other thing that I could say is that I don't know the details of the other guys, but they're obviously facing a ton of time as well. And the only thing that I can say is that the cooperation obviously is going to help them, but I could see the news media spinning this on the little, life. So pay attention for that. And let's figure out. Let me look real quick while I got you guys on here. Let me check. Here we go. How long is a life sentence in the state of New York? 25 years. Let me see. How many years a life sentence technically? Life imprisonment for crime under which convicted and remain prison indefinitely until pardon. Maybe New York might be a life sentence state. A life sentence, quote, could be 15 to 25 years, and the person can be considered for parole. With a 300-year sentence in most states, has to serve at least a third of their sentence before parole. So if the person is 35 years old, they'd have to be 135 years to be eligible for parole. Yeah, so a lot of these life sentences that you see are like 25-year sentences. So just keep that in mind when you see it. I couldn't tell on a quick Google search whether that's the case for New York or not, but just something to keep in mind. The news media loves to play games with each and every one of you, and likes to spin for a narrative to look like they did this great thing when maybe they didn't do as much as they're actually putting out there. So, Crypto fam, listen, if you're not signed up for Trading Wars, Monday we will be back. It is the last week of season 1. Don't let that stop you from signing up and depositing, because we got season 2 coming up, right? Get some trading in. Maybe you have a couple big trades. Maybe next week is a good week, even if it's just a small amount of money, $20, $50, whatever. I want to encourage you guys, give it a shot. Let's learn to trade together. The guys we're doing some wild stuff on the show, but we're also trying to educate people. That is definitely part of the game plan here. So, if you guys want to throw out a super chat or whatever, and you want somebody to break down, one of your trades or why they're making a certain trade, the show on Thursday was dope. Ben Armstrong has the worst loss and the largest gain of the season so far. I'm sure that's probably not a surprise to many of you, as he definitely likes to go kind of all or nothing and is always a wild man. But yeah, he has the largest loss and largest gain, I believe, on a single trade. I'm pretty positive on that. So, something interesting. But make sure to sign up. I've got a link pinned in the chat and the links in the description. Also, obviously, thanks to ZoomX. Thank you to Houdini Swap for continuing to be our partners throughout this. Thank you to Market Cypher as well. We've got links in the description for all of that. If you guys want to be private about moving, funds around, definitely check out Houdini Swap. They're fantastic. Market Cypher has been a great indicator for people. We've got 20% off on that. Just wanted to be able to be a part of helping you guys do better with your money. That's just the reality, right? We want to do as well as we possibly can. We're not financial advisors, so we try to give you guys as much as we possibly can, and then hopefully have fun with it, which is what we're trying to do with Trading Wars, is have some fun with trading, because nobody else is doing what we're doing. Last thing, I told you guys, Crusader and I have got something special planned for all of you and for ourselves. And you're going to see something that is, when you see it, I'm telling you, it's going to be like, that makes sense. I see why you guys did that. And you guys are going to really love what we are doing. That's all I can say. But just stand by for some changes that are coming up. We are super excited about. I hope everybody has a freaking fantastic weekend, guys. If you're out, ladies and gentlemen, if you're out there having fun, partying, drinking, doing whatever it is that you're doing, please, please, please get a designated driver, get an Uber. That's what they're there for. So, not telling you not to have fun, just please be careful. Too many people's lives are lost every single day, every single year to nonsense like that. So please, please, please make sure to do that, and have a blessed weekend. Just remember, question everything, trust nothing. And until next time, hodl like it's hot. We will see you soon. Love you guys.